Couple of updates from my previous videos, following on from my video about soldiers and the trials for war crimes in Ireland. Penny Mordaunt, the Defence Secretary, is now looking at ways to stop prosecutions of veterans from Ireland. So congratulations if you're a veteran who served in Ireland, or if you're a veteran who served in the armed forces at large, you can get away with whatever the fuck you want. Following on from yesterday's video about Jeremy Kyle's show, Jeremy Kyle has now been cancelled completely, which is a massive achievement for those of us who don't want our TV to be all about persecuting poor people or making poor people look like scum. Brilliant news. That's all the updating I wanted to do. I want to talk today about abortion because Alabama has just passed a law that makes abortion illegal including even in the instances of rape and incest. So if you're a woman and you're raped, even if you're raped by your own father and he gets you pregnant, you cannot now get an abortion in Alabama. Wow, Alabama, wow. I expected the United States' descent into the land of the Handmaid's Tale to be a lot more sort of creepy than that, a lot more steady, a lot slower than that, but instead Alabama comes along just whoop. That's one small step for Alabama, one giant leap into backwards Christianity. Now, if you're against abortion, that's fine. You're perfectly entitled to be against abortion in the same respect that people are against open heart surgery. Abortion is a necessary medical procedure. Nobody should have to have an abortion. In an ideal world, nobody would have to have an abortion. But in an ideal world, nobody would have to have open heart surgery or brain surgery. Unfortunately, people just have to. That's life. That's the way it goes. Sometimes people have to abort a baby. Shit happens. When you're clinging onto your 2,000-year-old book that says women must bear the children of men. Remember, you're reading a book that was written by men 2,000 years ago in a society where women were viewed as second-class citizens. They were viewed as the servants of men. They were viewed as below men. They had no rights. So you're clinging onto this backwards ideology rather than progressing your faith and making it adaptable to modern day standards. Now, if you're against abortion, I have a few questions for you. If a child is born into a life of poverty, are you then in favour of that child being supported by the state, by that child's mother and that child being supported by state welfare, by state benefits? Because most of you that I've come across, most of the anti-abortionists I've come across, don't like more taxes. They don't like the state getting involved and helping people out. Well, I've got news for you again. Shit happens. Poor women get pregnant. They make bad judgment calls. Condoms split. Pills stop being effective. Shit happens. That is life. That's the life that you purport to protect. Things happen. Deal with it. So if you're going to be against abortion, you have to be in favour of higher taxation in order to pay for the children that you're forcing poor women to have. If you're against abortion, you therefore, by default, you are supporting a child being born that is severely disabled to the point where there's no quality of life. You're allowing children to be born essentially vegetables, to use the un-PC term. You're allowing women and children to die in childbirth because there are instances where doctors have to say to a mother, if you carry this pregnancy full term, either you or your child will be possibly killed or severely injured. A woman has to have that availability to terminate a pregnancy early to save herself the grief of delivering a dead baby or her own life in some cases. That's what abortion is for. These people seem to think that abortion is for women who just want to live off the state and just want to have loads of babies and be able to claim benefits. That's not what abortion is about. Abortion is not about a woman just having last-minute contraception. Yes, of course, there will be people who abuse the system. There's always people that abuse a system set up to help people. We have benefits here in the UK, we have a welfare system in the US. People are going to abuse it. But are you then suggesting that we get rid of that system completely just because of a few bad apples who actually abuse this system? Would you suggest that we get rid of state welfare completely in the US and make it just one totalitarian capitalist state with no safety net? Is that what you're suggesting? because an idea like that would be absolutely ridiculous. So to suggest that we get rid of abortion because there is a few women who use it repeatedly as a means of contraception is ridiculous. Abortion is a legitimate medical procedure which nobody should have to go through. In an ideal world, as I say, nobody would abort a child. Unfortunately, we don't live in an ideal world. In an ideal world, there'd be no benefit system because people wouldn't need them, but that's life. Shit happens, people need benefits, people need to get abortions sometimes. So abortion isn't this evil creation drummed up by mad scientists laughing maniacally and twiddling their moustaches. It's a legitimate medical practice, a medical procedure. It's not there purely for women to exploit it and just have it whenever they feel like they don't want a baby. It's there to give women a choice, to make a choice based on their own health, the baby's health, whether the baby will have a quality of life, whether they were raped. It's there to give women freedom of choice. If you don't like abortion, that's fine. You're perfectly entitled to your opinion, but don't try and make it so everybody else has to follow your standards and your values. If you're against abortions, don't get one. Don't try and make it illegal for other people to have abortions. If you're against gay sex, don't have it. Just don't try and get people to illegalise gay sex and make it against the law. Everybody else does not share your values. That's all I have to say on abortion. That's it. That is it. Abortion is not some wicked thing. It is a medical procedure and we need it. Let's stop the slide backwards into the land of the handmaid's tale and let's make a really progressive society where we help as many people as we can live a sustainable and valuable life. That's it. I shall see you in the next video.